This video is sponsored by Audible. For a free audiobook, use the link in the description below. I was recently browsing on Amazon when I stumbled across these officially licensed Mistborn themed playing cards. I had never heard of them. Apparently they've been out for a couple years, but they look really cool, so I ordered some. And they just arrived today, so in this video, I'll be unboxing these playing cards and giving my thoughts on the overall design. At the time of recording this video, there's currently two different eras of Mistborn, Mistborn Eras 1 and 2. These cards are based on Mistborn Era 1. Mistborn Era 1 is a trilogy of books written by American author Brandon Sanderson, and it's set in his Cosmere universe. It's a really good trilogy, and it's a great introduction to the Cosmere. I'll put links to all three books in the description of this video for anybody that wants to check them out. All right, so here's our first look at the packaging. I'll get the plastic off. I won't be including any plot spoilers in this video, but I will be talking about some of the lore, like the magic systems. Just a warning for anybody that hasn't read the series. I don't think the camera's picking it up very well, but all of this writing has a metallic look, like a silvery shine to it. So we see Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn, playing cards by King's Wild Project. Now, let me know down in the comments, guys, if you have heard of this before. I have not. I saw that they have apparently been out for a couple years, though, so I don't know if they were specially released before and they're just now available to the public or what. So here on the bottom of the pack, we got officially licensed playing cards designed by King's Wild Project, inspired by the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. Let's check out the cards themselves. Let's see. We'll look at the backs of the cards first. So, wow, very shiny. They got like a foil look to them. The sides are just plain, no gilding or anything. Okay, so we have one of the allomantic symbols here. This is the symbol for atium, one of the most powerful metals. So in Mistborn, there's a couple different magic systems. One of them is called allomancy. And in allomancy, users can swallow and burn different types of metals to access various powers. These powers range from giving the user super strength to letting them push on metals and soar through the air. There's a lot of different powers. It looks like all the backs of the cards are the same. So let's check out the front. Oh, wow. So right away, another very shiny foiled card. Let's look at these two. So this right here, these are depicting preservation on the left here and ruin on the right. Throughout the Mistborn Era 1 trilogy, every night mist curls from seemingly nowhere and covers all of the land. So I really like how they gave this mist look to these two cards. All right, now we have the ace. All of the cards are foiled. This one's very shiny. No characters depicted on this one, but once again, we see Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn, playing cards by King's Wild Project, and we have another of the allomantic alphabet symbols. This is the symbol that represents steel. Then we have a 2 of spades, also has the same symbol on it. Okay, so going through these, it looks like they must all have the same steel symbol on the 2 corners here. Oh, here we go. We get our first look at one of the face cards. So we have the Jack of Spades here. So this is depicting a Koloss. The Koloss are these brutish creatures that grow to towering heights. When they're young, they're about 6 feet tall, and their skin hangs loosely about their bodies. But as they grow upwards of 14 feet, the skin starts stretching on their body, and it gets very tight and starts to rip in different areas. Now, their skin is blue. Obviously, this is depicted in a grayscale, so it doesn't show that part. They carry these massive swords with them, and usually they're pretty calm, the Koloss. But every once in a while, they'll go into a bloodlust and they'll just rage out and destroy anything around them. Next up, we have a Steel Inquisitor. These are one of the most creepy creatures in Mistborn. So they have spikes through their eyes, as you can see here, and they go all the way through their skull and poke out the back like horns. They carry obsidian axes, and they have the powers of a full Mistborn, so they're extremely powerful and dangerous. I'm not sure who this artwork is by. I'll try to find out and put it on screen. Yeah, it doesn't say on the box anywhere. Next up, we have the Lord Ruler. This is the tyrant that's been in power for over 1,000 years, ruling over the final empire. So we can see here, he has all kind of jewelry on his fingers and his wrists. The funny thing is, he's never described as having long hair in the books, but almost every depiction of him, the artists give him long hair. In the book, it just says that his hair's black. It never mentions the length. Oh, next up we have the hearts. So the hearts have different color of foiling. Ah, that makes sense actually. So the symbol has changed as well. So on these silver foiled ones, we have the steel symbol. So this is representing steel. And now we have the gold colored ones with the gold allomantic symbol. All right, so our first face card for the hearts is Marsh. So we have two depictions of Marsh here. We have one when he's just a regular guy, and we have this other depiction where he is an inquisitor. Wow, those eye spikes look so ominous when they glint in the light like that. They're actually described as glinting throughout the books in a similar fashion. So I really like that detail. Oh, wow. So we have a depiction of Mare. That surprises me because Mare isn't really featured in the story. I don't think I've ever seen a depiction of Mare, so I'm actually really glad that they did include her. And we can see she has a picture of a flower. Next up, we have Kelsier as the King of Hearts. Kelsier is one of the main protagonists, and he is a Mistborn, the survivor of Hath Sin. He's pretty legendary. I think they did a pretty good job depicting him here. I mean, he has the scars on his arms, and it looks like they're actually going the right way. They're supposed to go down his arms rather than across. And I feel like that's a detail that a lot of depictions miss, but they did a good job here. And we can see he's tossing some coins up in the air. All right, that's it for the gold cards. Next up, we have the diamond cards, which are featuring the copper allomantic symbol, and they have the copper coloring of the foil. The copper looks very nice. Let's see what the face cards look like. Who do we get? Oh, okay. For the first face card, the Jack of Diamonds, we get Tinsoon. So Tinsoon is a Kandra, which is a species that can shapeshift. They consume the bodies of other creatures, and they can replicate them. It's a very interesting concept. I actually made a video on Kandra and Koloss and Inquisitors. I'll link those down in the description of this video in case you guys want to check those out. This is an interesting depiction of Tinsoon. So he's described as a wolfhound. I think this looks more like an actual wolf than a wolfhound, but he does look very menacing. So I like it. All right, next up we have Tindwyl. Tindwyl is a Terrace woman. She is a ferrochemist. So ferrochemy is one of the other magic systems in Mistborn. Ferrochemy lets users store attributes from their own body in different types of metal, and that metal acts as a sort of battery. While they're actively storing that attribute, the attribute's diminished. So if they're storing something like eyesight, they won't be able to see as well, and a lot of times they'll wear spectacles while they're storing eyesight. But then they can tap all of that reserve of eyesight from the metal at a later time, and they can have super sight. It's a really interesting magic system. I actually made a video on ferrochemy as well. And for the King of Diamonds, we have Sazed. All right, so Sazed is another Terraceman, and he is also a ferrochemist. And you can see here, Sazed has all kind of jewelry on. That is very accurate. I'm glad they added all the jewelry. Being a ferrochemist, he needs to carry around a bunch of metal mines so he can store his attributes. So I think they did a pretty good job of depicting Terrace people. So they're always described as having drooping features and long faces. I'd say that's pretty good. Next, we're moving on to what I think is aluminum, but it's a little confusing because the symbol is flipped. I'll put what the symbol is supposed to look like on screen. I think that might be a slight mistake there, but it is the same on all of these cards, so at least it's consistent. Oh, look at this. Actually, on the face cards, they get the symbol correct. So that's definitely a mistake on the non-face cards. So our first face card for the aluminum cards is Spook. Very cool. So this is Spook, also known as the Survivor of the Flames. And it looks like he is depicted in his Survivor of the Flames arc. All right, let's see what's next. I'm running out of room here on the screen. So for Queen of Clubs, we have Vin. So we can see her here with her mist cloak on. She's also throwing up coins, similar to Kelsier. They're both wearing their mist cloaks. Very cool. And Vin is holding one of her glass daggers. And finally, let's see, we have the King of Clubs, Elend Venture. We see him holding what looks like a dueling cane, and it looks like he has his white uniform on, and he's of course holding a book. Elend loves to read. So there you have it. Those are all the cards. I think they look really, really good. They feel very nice. They're definitely high quality. There's one thing that I think could have made them a lot better. I think they could have included characters on all the different cards, even if they're not face cards. There's so many characters that they could have added, like all of Kelsier's crew. We could have seen Breeze, Dockson, Ham. I would have loved to see all of them depicted as well. But I think the characters that we did get, the art is very, very nice. I think my favorite art from all of these cards is probably Inquisitor Marsh. He looks so serious and menacing. I'll put a link to all of these cards in the video description in case you want to check them out for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see other unboxing style videos for other Cosmere products, let me know in the comments. And don't forget, you can get an audiobook absolutely free thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Audible. All you have to do is use the link in the description and sign up for an Audible Premium Plus 30-day free trial. Once you sign up, Audible will give you a credit, and you can use that credit to get any audiobook of your choice. It's a great opportunity to check out Mistborn if you haven't already. The first book is Mistborn: The Final Empire. Being an Audible member also gives you access to the Audible Plus catalog, which is filled with thousands of other audiobooks and podcasts. So once again, to get your free audiobook, use the link below. That's all for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.